Welcome back to The Human Perspective. We are going to be interviewing Dustin Gibson from Pennsylvania. We have been doing a series of interviews of people who have been participating at the National Council on Independent Living's annual meeting, and Dustin spoke at the International Summit on Sunday, and we've invited him to come and share some of the work that he's doing. So welcome. Very nice to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, what makes you tick?
What makes me tick? When different movements aren't willing to work with other movements for a unified goal or towards one.
What's your goal?
Liberation, freedom.
And from a disability perspective, what does that actually mean?
Being able to exist as we choose without punitive implications or being stifled by anyone or anything.
So you currently are the director of a Center for Independent Living in Pittsburgh.
Yes, I do direct services.
So, I'm sorry, director of services.
Yeah.
So what do you see as some of the biggest challenges that disabled people are facing in Pittsburgh?
I think it's probably similar globally in particular areas like urban areas or some of the rural face the same challenges as far as accessing services, education, literacy, and then also institutionalization, whether that be incarceration or nursing facilities, because we lack those services in our communities.
So incarceration, referring to people who are in jail?
Yes, or prison.
Or prisons,
Or
right?
detention centers for young folks.
Uh-huh. So have you been involved in that field, the issue working on people who are incarcerated for one reason or another?
Yeah, so we do work inside of the prisons with folks. We build with them, organize with them, help support their transition back into the community, and then once they re-enter the community, help get some of those services that they need set up. And then, I mean, it's individual on an individual basis, so yeah, we just support.
So what got you interested in doing this?
I guess I would say I was black before I was disabled, at least identifying. So incarceration, policing, that's something that's impacted me in my personal life, as well as folks around me for some time now. So after I learned and was able to put language towards and name that people were being incarcerated due to disability as well, that has given me new perspective. Now I'm looking at the world through that prism.
So do you have a disability yourself?
Yeah, I was diagnosed when I was maybe 20 years old, so about 8 years ago, with bipolar disorder, anxiety. So that's kind of what brought me into disability rights. Since I've moved towards disability justice.
So you're involved with a group called the Harriet Tubman Collective. So could you tell us a little bit about what that is and why it's important to you?
I think that's important for all of us. It's a space for black, deaf, and disabled thought. It's something like a brain trust. It's a community. It's a place where we can exist as whole human beings. And we don't necessarily have to like say that this is what we're focusing on, because we're focusing on who we are in our communities. So I think that's important to just have that for folks to utilize us as a resource, as well as to know that we exist.
So why was the collective formed?
The collective, we had informal relationships with each other. We didn't necessarily all know each other prior to actually coming together, but throughout the past few years there's been a lot of organizing around police brutality and the murders of black folks with disabilities in particular, and we felt like those narratives, or disability narrative, was being erased. So we came together to not necessarily kind of call out with love to the organizers around the country to say that we are the folks that are experiencing this violence, and we should be named and honored in that way, and you need us in order to really move forward in a progressive way.
Do you feel Black people in communities are interested in becoming more involved in the disability rights movement?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we really take into consideration is the barriers that are unique to Black folks in this country, given the history of literacy and intelligence and how that's really been tied to chattel slavery and some of the policies that folks have endured. So with that comes this barrier with language and being able to familiarize yourself with certain movements that are usually white-led. So the slogans that we chant or the ways in which we talk about disability doesn't necessarily connect with folks. But what I've seen is when we go talk about it as experiences and things that we actually live, people are really interested in it. People are already doing this type of work, just not naming it.
Right.
So
Not
myself,
necessarily even knowing there is a name.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. I don't think people connect the disability rights so much, but connect the civil rights, and we know that they're both the same thing. So
So is that a role that you are helping with, like bridging the civil rights movement so that people can see the disability rights, civil rights component linking up with the broader civil rights community?
yeah, and that works in both spaces as well. In the disability communities, it works to not erase people of color from our movements. And then in spaces that are usually Black-led, it's not to erase our disability identities. So yeah, it's somewhat of a bridge.
And are you feeling there's progress being made?
Yeah, we have right now we're at a global summit or conference, and then last year this conference was Solidarity, where we talked about some pretty heavy content with the deaths of folks that live at intersections of gender, race, nationality, being killed by police. So I think that conversation is one that's important and is starting to pop up in a lot more disability-led spaces.
Are you working with the Latino community and Muslim community and others who are also experiencing discrimination?
Okay, I'm not personally working with any, uplifting some of the narratives, some of the stories.
Is CAL serving your center?
My center is not, but my region is not also too diverse. It's almost just Black and white. So we do work with some Latino folks. We work with folks from Iran, Pakistan, Iraq. So basically we serve anybody that we're aware of, and not just that comes to us. We go to them. So we have people that are from Nepal, Budapest, refugees in the city as well.
So what are some of your hopes and desires over the next couple of years? What are some of the changes you would like to see?
I would like to see conversation lead to action. I think conversation is the place we start at, and raising that awareness, but then to action and working together. So that might look like shifting of resources possibly. It might look like more diverse perspectives and leadership.
Well, I really appreciate the work that you've been doing. When I worked at the Department of Education in the 1990s, one of the issues I was working on were youth with disabilities who were imprisoned, and visited a number of juvenile facilities because there is disproportionate number of individuals from African American community, the Latino community, and people with disabilities. Many of them hidden disabilities or mild to moderate intellectual and developmental disabilities. And I think there's a lot of work that I'm going to hopefully do through the human perspective over the next year of doing some more interviews on this subject. So I really appreciated the work that you've been doing and look forward to talking with you again in the future.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. It's been a great opportunity, and as I said, we'll be doing more work in this area, having further discussions, and we will put information up about some of the organizations that you're working with.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.